Hi, everybody. Welcome to a special edition of Teaching Crypto. AZcrypto here with MrFOMO. I know what you guys are thinking. I thought we were on the road to recovery. By the way, hit that like, smash that subscribe button. Remember, MrFOMO has put his hairline on the line. If we don't get to 70K by July, sometime in July, end of July. Actually, we were giving you August. Okay, let's be honest. If we don't get to 70K sometime in the next 6 weeks, he will shave off his hair. How about this? If we don't get to 80K by the end of September, I will shave off my hair. So there you go. Something to look forward to. We are confident that we're going to rebound. Why is Bitcoin still down? Well, a certain country called Germany has decided to keep selling its Bitcoin. Now, what was really odd, MrFOMO, is there was a buyback at one point over the weekend, and people were like, oh my God, have they switched their strategy? No, they're still selling. So they've decided to limit free speech this summer and sell Bitcoin at a really low price. I don't know who's running the German government right now. I actually do know, but I'm just saying maybe not making the best decisions here as we see. So if you're a fan of the German government, I apologize. Don't unsubscribe. But here's the deal. They have now sold half of their Bitcoin, okay? They're still holding around 23,800. I did the math. If they continue at this rate, we're looking at about 2.5 weeks. It seems like yesterday they had their biggest sell ever. So I actually think this is going to get done well before the end of July. And my guess is by end of July, they're done selling. I really believe that. And, Mt. Gox could be anywhere between 1 week to 5 to 6 weeks. They're saying sometime 30 to 45 days. So, we got to get through this. We got to get through this. It sucks. I know I was calling for an early recovery in July because we went down earlier than expected, but it looks like this is going to mirror the last mini bear at the end of the last bull run, where we didn't recover till the end of July. It kind of feels like we're headed towards mid to late July here.
Yeah, and to be honest with you, something that we expected with the Halloween indicator and the previous bull runs and previous summertime returns have been ugly. And so it's something that was not unexpected. It's something that I expected, but I do expect us to rebound here at the end of the month, like you were saying. Now, two things about Germany. One, it's much harder to mine Bitcoin than it is to print your own money, right? And if you're the German government, you have your own money printer. So why not just print money rather than selling an asset that is going to go through the roof?
They don't know that. That's the problem, right? They didn't study the history. They didn't study the cycle. They wouldn't watch shows like this. So there's no one to tell them, hey, you're selling below 60K. This is going to be over 100 in 2 to 3 months. What are you doing?
Yeah, obviously they don't have anyone on their payroll that is giving them that kind of good advice. And now you threw me off. I forgot what my second point was. But now it just seems like it seems like such a bad idea when you're looking at this and you know that they have their own money printer and they can print their own money to pay for what they want, and it's just awful. It's a geopolitical nightmare for them, and obviously they don't have anybody on their payroll that knows anything about Bitcoin. Otherwise they'd be hanging on to it. But as of this morning, my other point, as of this morning, they held close to 40,000 Bitcoin, which would amount to about 5% of Bitcoin's daily volume. So there is some sell pressure still there if they're going to keep offloading that Bitcoin, which we have no indication that they're not. And so there's still a little bit of sell pressure there, but it doesn't seem like it can be that long for that, because they're limited on what they have, right? And so they're going to be done selling soon. And there are other people that have reached out to them to see if they could buy the Bitcoin from them so that it couldn't affect the price, or it wouldn't affect the price as much as it is now. But yeah, it's a nightmare what they're doing with it. But I would assume that selling is going to be done soon. There are those out there that are saying the Mt. Gox is already priced in. And so easily, if those two things are true, that Germany's almost done selling and the Mt. Gox stuff is already priced in, you could see this turning around fairly quickly.
And the issue is they don't look like fools now in front of their people. What are they going to look like when this goes over 100K in October? They are going to look like fools. Like people are going to start asking questions, right? And 4 years from now, when Bitcoin is worth over 500,000, they could have had all that Bitcoin and they sold it under 60K, around 55 to 66. They're going to look like complete fools. That's the reality. But again, it's about education. It's about patience. The information is out there, but people are too late. And this is a government that's too lazy to do the research. Maybe they really need the cash right now this month. I don't know. I don't know what's going on.
Like I said, if you need the cash and you have a money printer, you can just print the cash. Why sell something that is so difficult to mine, so difficult to get your hands on, that has limited supply?
Spending July destroying your economy and cutting back on free speech is an interesting way to go. Not what I would do, but again, please don't unsubscribe if you're a big fan of the group. We need every one of you as we try.
If the chancellor's watching, don't unsubscribe.
Oh, send them to the show. Hey, by the way, if you know any Germans, please forward the show to them. Maybe we can talk them into their senses. I want to show you something, Mr. FOMO. And we didn't talk about this pre-show, but what the hell? It's July and the market's down.
Yeah.
This is, I want to show you a yearly chart here with some of the major events that have happened. Okay. So we talk about zooming out, right? Well, look at this here, baby. See that red, that 30K all the way back a year ago? Okay. So that's something interesting. Now, I want you to think about this. These are all the big events that have happened, right? And let us not forget, one of the world's biggest pensions was interested in Bitcoin when we were close to 70K. And you see where we are now. I love this chart, okay? Because it looks like you've missed out. But then when you go to the monthly, look at that. You saw where Germany started moving their Bitcoin, and you've seen what's happened since. You've talked about going, we were at one point, believe it or not, about 30 days ago, right below 70K. We see where we are now. So that shows you how quickly things can change, right? And so that gives me real hope. The 7-day, again, and then the 1 day, you see a lot of volatility, and that's because of the selling. But if I go back to the all-time, we kind of see here, we are due for another big spike, and that's what's coming. So I'm going to show you now another, good. We'll talk about Voyager too in just a little bit, because I have an interesting perspective I want to share here. Here we go. So, Mr. FOMO, here's what I'm seeing here. And I want you to look at this chart very carefully with me. What I'm seeing here is normally during a cycle, after you have a euphoric run at the beginning, you get a big lull. And ours started earlier than we expected. We all understand that. Okay? It started in early March, and we kind of got fooled a little bit. But here, you look at the last time this happened, you look at that run, and that run puts us well over 100K easily. So I'm looking at this chart, and history doesn't always repeat when we talk about it rhyming. Do you think this chart is realistic? Because if it is, we're going to destroy 100K in 2024.
Yes. I do believe that we are going to see similar price action. That's why I'm in Bitcoin. That's why I think that's why we're all in Bitcoin. And I think if you didn't think that, you'd probably be out of it or into something else. But I think for sure you can see that happening, because we're in the early stages of the bull run still, and we haven't seen that explosive growth that we've all expected, and that comes around during each of these cycles. So I fully expect it to get over 100. Now, will it go straight up? No. Is it going to be parabolic? No. It's going to be a steady climb, and that's healthy. You don't want it to shoot straight up, because it shoots straight up, then the sell pressure pushes it right back down. We want it to have a steady climb. We want it to, well, I mean, I wouldn't be heartbroken if we saw it shoot up, but you want it to be healthy so that it maintains those prices and you don't see these ugly capitulations like we've got right here. But to be honest with you, like I said last show, these are buying opportunities. I bought some Bitcoin right before we went on the air, which usually means it's going to go down again. So get your wallets ready. But whenever I buy Bitcoin, it usually goes down. But I bought some right before the show because I honestly believe that we're almost done with the German selling. I honestly believe that the Mt. Gox stuff isn't going to affect us too much. And I think that we're going to be in for an explosive late July, early August. So, yeah. I think this is an opportunity rather than, and like Micah said, we need our Voyager money pretty soon so that we can take advantage of this dip.
We are trying to contact Mr. Hage. You are after the show again, and we're going to see if we can get a clear update. Here's my thing now. Here's my take. It's been a week for people to check their addresses. I think 10 days is more than enough, and that would be middle of this week. So what I would love to see is an email coming up next week where we get an exact date. And I'm going to assume it's going to be the first or second week of August. I don't have an exact date, but that's my inkling here is we are going to get those checks. Now, I'll be honest with you. I think we're going to be way above 60K at that point. But because of this delayed selling we're seeing from Germany, we'll probably be below 70K when we get these checks, right? And so what's going to happen then is it's still a great opportunity because the alts will be lagging behind. Now, I don't think Mr. Slim is with us, but I had to get this in, Mr. FOMO. He asked me about Litecoin all the time. And again, you didn't know this was coming either. You know, but here's the thing. Litecoin now is down to $64.52. All right. I'm pulling up the yearly chart here. Okay.
But I wish you could go and I wish you could show Litecoin after every Bitcoin halving because they do have quite a bit of a.
I'll do the monthly here. I'm looking for Litecoin to be in the 50s. And why? The reason why is traditionally the fall after the Bitcoin halving, Litecoin really does well. It does well preceding its halving, and then it does poorly. And then the fall, if you look at the chart after, I'll put the yearly up here, the fall after the Bitcoin halving is where you see these huge spikes. You see these spikes? And so what I would love to see actually is Litecoin continue to go down a little bit over the next couple of weeks as Germany sells their Bitcoin. I would love to pick up some Litecoin in the low 50s. Will it get there? I can't guarantee you. And then I would like to ride it up. But when these spikes are very volatile, so it could be a week spike, a week's time of spike in August, September. And I would be picking this up so I could double, not financial advice, do your own research. I could double the Litecoin value and sell into fiat in the fall during football season. Now I'm still looking for, but Mr. Slim, if you watch this later, this is up. This is for you, baby. I hope you do watch this. It's almost time to look into Litecoin. Now, honestly, we keep delaying. We will have our next show where we will tell the audience exactly what we hold. I do not hold any Litecoin right now. But if it gets to 55, 54, 53, that's where I'm looking to accumulate. And what I'm looking for is within about 4 to 6 to 8 weeks, depending on how quick the recovery is, Litecoin's going to have one of those weekly runs where it just we're going from 55 to 90, 100. And honestly, I'm not going to keep any of my Litecoin. We thrive here on the show in honesty. I'm going to get rid of all of it because I'm looking at it as something that can quickly go back up when Bitcoin shows strength in the fall. So these pumps you see, Litecoin, you see right here where it is. Litecoin is due for another one, ladies and gentlemen. And I would like to be on that Litecoin train, just like I was on the Sol train. By the way, Sol, you're getting below 200. I do believe Sol will hit 300 this year, so good opportunity there. All these good opportunities. Don't forget to hit that like, subscribe, and if you feel like it, our store is open. Super chats, help us out. As the more you guys help us out, the more we can invest in these tokens and the more shows we can put out for you, honestly. But what do you think about my thesis here as you look at this all-time chart?
I like it. If you're going to put a decent amount of money into Litecoin, then you will make a decent amount of money. With
Yeah, not
Litecoin,
going to 10x, guys. It's not what I'm looking for is a quick rebound in the fall. So again, and we'll keep you updated. If Litecoin goes below 60 and say 55, I really love it because I'm feeling like a 110 Litecoin is coming sometime in the beginning of football season in September, maybe late September, early October.
Right, and like we tell you guys, don't be married to these tokens. Make your money and get out. And so if you're happy, I mean, if your target is even lower than that, if you're happy with buying it now and selling it at 90 to get your 50%, then do what you plan. Plan your work and work your plan, as my dad always says. If you think that you've made a decent amount of money and it's time to take profits, then it is time to take profits. Don't wait until it starts to go back down before you panic sell.
Yeah.
Have a target. When you hit that target, sell, make your profits. Maybe leave yourself a moon bag in there in case it moons after that. Some house money that you don't really care about. But don't be married to these tokens. Buy them, make your money off them, get out of them. Don't join the cult. Don't join the don't join the online forums. Don't get all into it because you're just going to run into these maxis that tell you, oh, hold on forever. It's going to make you a millionaire. Maybe that's true 12 years down the line, but there's other places where you can be putting your money now that can be making you money faster and more efficiently.
One last thing. Shame on you, Celsius, going after customers 2.5 years after you guys closed down the exchange. What a complete joke that is. I hope you people with FTX get your money as soon as possible. I really hope people in Voyager, just like us, get their second distribution. And let's put pressure on Paul after this distribution. Let's put a timeline, get a third distribution, and call it a day, because time is money, like we've said. And you guys keep watching the show because we're going to be giving you more and more opportunities to hopefully make some money. Don't forget to smash that subscribe button and share the show. For Mr. FOMO, this is AZcrypto. You guys have a wonderful day.
See ya.